Good morning, cousins. Hey, my name is Yolanda Spears. Yes, it is spelled with a J, and yes, it is pronounced Yolanda. I am a 31-year-old wife of 7 years and mom of four. I have an 11-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. 2.5 years old. He'll be 3 in like 2 months. Today, I just wanted to show you a little bit of what unschooling could look like. Not any rush, not any paperwork, not any, it's structure, but not any schedule. Okay, we go by routine here and how we feel, not schedule. I also, depending on what the clip is, I plan on putting good age ranges for whatever the activity is, and then why it's good and what they're learning through it. Because it may not seem like learning, but if you're intentional, everything can be learned, through intention. A lot can be learned, and that's what unschooling is about. It's about being intentional, it's about slowing down and taking a different approach to learning, right? Because the school systems were just created in what? Before the 1800s, kids didn't go to school at all. And in my opinion, everybody's opinion is different, right? But in my opinion, we should still be writing, because we have to learn how to write our names. We have to learn how to do different things, right? But it doesn't have to be at a brick and mortar school for 8 hours a day, especially at 5 years old. To me, that's just crazy. So I looked it up, and I'm going to tell you. During the Industrial Revolution, the 1800s, factories needed workers who could follow schedules, sit still, and follow instructions. Adults worked 8 to 12-hour shifts in factories, and schools were redesigned to match factory schedules and prepare schools to work in industrial work, right? By the early 1900s, school days became standardized to do 6 to 8 hour days and 5 days a week. Hey, son. Okay, son. And I'll give you a little tip, not a tip, but like a little thing that we do. When we take baths, we make the water a certain color. That is also, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do it for an 11-year-old, because 11-year-old doesn't take a bath, right? But I do this for my little ones, and it's a great way to learn colors and be excited, and I'll turn the water off so you can hear me. I was not homeschooled. I went to public school my whole life. I don't see anything wrong with public school. I don't know. I want a little different for my kids, I always knew that I wanted to homeschool since becoming an adult. I can say that with confidence. And then I have an older brother who's about 2 years older than me. He unschools his kids. I think he has about like 6 kids, and he unschools all of them. His oldest is about 12 years old. So he's been unschooling for 12 years, and he's been adamant on, no, this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? And I think I wanted to just follow in those footsteps, but take that same approach. I do plan on doing it a little bit different in my household, because, like I said before, I think I said this before, but my unschool approach, we won't just be sitting in the house. We will be going to different clubs and things like that. They are going to be starting gymnastics as soon as Ace turns 3, because I don't think the other two will sit while I do the parent one with Ace, and that's until you're 3. So everybody will be doing gymnastics, doing a sport on top of gymnastics. We have the Science Museum that does homeschool programs once a month all throughout the year. We have the zoo that does a homeschool program once a month all throughout the year. And then we also have our local park does a forest school program once a month all throughout the year. So I plan on putting all of the children in all 3 of those programs so they can meet other kids like them, learn things that I can't specifically teach them, you know, and get experiences outside of mama. You're not just always up under mama either, you know. I am pretty excited about the forest school, you know. I don't know if you guys watch Bluey. So Bluey goes to forest school, right? And on the what is it called? On the description or whatever for the forest school at our local park, they say dress for any and every kind of weather because rain, sleet, or snow, we're open on the day that you're scheduled. So I'm pretty excited for that, for them to be in the snow. I don't know what they're going to do, but for them to be in the snow and learn to be in the rain and learn that these things aren't bad. They're part of life. They're part of nature. Go do it. You know, go be in it. But I've always just, I used to want to live off grid, right? Before I met my husband, I used to want to live off grid. I used to want to just be a little house on a prairie kind of vibes, right? And with that, of course, I would homeschool my kids. And I didn't know about unschooling until my brother started doing it. I did a little research and was just like, oh, I could do it like that, but different. You know, I don't want to do like him. Like I already said, I want to put my kids in programs to be away from me so that they can learn to be away from me and things like that, but not for 8 hours, 5 days a week. And then if we do a sport on top of that or something on top of that, you know? And then when I met my husband, I knew this is what I want to do. Homeschooling is what I want to do. Are you okay with it? And he never had a problem with it. just wanted to say it's not as if I don't have like insecurities, because there are some schools that I have called to see if my son would be able to attend for kindergarten. But it's just, even when I call the schools, even when I do all of the research and things, it's like something inside of me just says, no, you guys are supposed to be home. So be confident in your decision. You know what I mean? But there's still the decision, or the confident aspect of, yes, I can teach you all of these things, but I can't teach you peer relationships. You know what I mean? And yes, you have relationships with your siblings, but we don't have a village, so therefore we don't have cousins and things like that to have relationships with and build relationships with. So that's something that's always on my mind. Something else that's pretty much it. That is the biggest thing. And not having a village, it would just be nice to send them away 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. More like 2 hours a day, 5 days a week would be super nice. But sometimes I'm just like, well, what about work? Because if I'm still having to work full time and drive for Amazon, then that means they would have to go with me, or I would have to, schedules would have to change in order for this to happen and be a secure thing in our life, and they not be so affected by it. You know what I mean? But I also don't want to raise like in-house kids. So if I'm working, I have to find a way to get out of the house and get them out of the house, even if it's just 1 or 2 days a week. That's it. That is all I have. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. I love you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.